Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the show, we got a Hall of Famer. My friend, the former, I'm going to do this like Michael Buffer, the former 140-pound unified champion, the former welterweight champion of the world,
Hey,
my
I'm no,
man, Timothy Bradley.
I'm no longer 140 pounds. I know that, or 147.
Uh, It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're a former champ. What's going on, my friend?
Oh man, I'm just picking up some stuff, doing the honey-do list, man. You know how we do. I
Well, I
appreciate
know
that
you're.
text message, man. I do. You know I'm gonna come through for you. What's going
Oh,
down, man? What's happening?
well, I appreciate it, man. We were just talking about Xander, and I know you're heading to New York in a couple of days.
What you guys think, man? What's your assessment of Xander and where
I,
he's at in
I
his career right now?
I'm like you. I like him, man. I mean, he's not a he's a contender now. He's not a prospect. He's
Yeah,
21. I mean, he's fighting Teixeira, and the stage is set for him to shine, man. It's going to be in New York, the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I think it's this weekend. So
yeah,
they're setting him up to be a star, Tim.
yeah, I agree. A lot of pressure on a young man. I remember in the past. I remember him fighting in Florida. That's his home state now. A while back, a little bit earlier in his career, he had a problem dealing with the crowd. He
Mm,
typically fights, he gets boosted with adrenaline off the crowd. I think he's kind of settled in now. Got his man bones now, 21 years old. I think this is a perfect time for him to definitely, like you said, shine and kind of, you know, be able to provide a stamp, I should say, for the division. Put his stamp on it and say, hey guys, I'm here. I might be a year or so ready from the top, but you know what, guys, I'm here, and I could be the new face of Puerto Rican boxing, man. They need somebody, man. Matias is not the guy. I mean, Matias is a beast, but he's not that guy. He's not popular, man.
no,
What do
he's
you think?
not. He's not popular. Sean Porter at one point didn't know who he was
Oh,
because he doesn't. He months ago, Tim, we are doing a show. He didn't realize that he was a champion because he's just not popular. He's not being pushed. But Top Rank is pushing. They're pushing Xander
yeah.
to be a star. They want a Trinidad and a Cotto. I mean, they're having him. He's headlining in New York, so it's a big deal for him.
You remember this kid? He started young, like 17, like he's still in
Yep.
high school.
Yep.
So he's been around the game. I think 5 years now, or 4 years now. So we've seen the maturation, we've seen the growth. I've seen the growth in this kid. He's definitely gotten better. I don't know his stance on as far as being able to compete against the southpaw. I know he had great amateur background, but man, this is his first southpaw, and and that has a ways of having its own difficulties in itself, yet alone Puerto Rican Day weekend too, man. On top of there's a lot of pressure on this young man to perform, man. And but I think he's ready, man. But again, I don't know his southpaw experience, man, because this is
Right.
his first one.
Well, you said maybe he's a year away. The fact is he's 21 and he's still
Yep.
getting experience and now he's fighting a southpaw. So I guess it'll be easier to evaluate it after the fight. But
Yeah, you got the
when do you
southpaw, and he's a former world champion. He's a former
Yeah,
world
right.
champion too, and he
But
had the big upset years ago against Carlos Adamas.
that's right. Well, I remember too, he lost to Brian Castano. And I was thinking about Brian Castano. Castano lost that rematch with Jamel Charlo, and then he disappeared. Like Castano hasn't fought since, but that's besides the
Can you hear
point.
me?
Yep, I got
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Give me one second, guys. Let me I gotta text my wife back.
Look at this. Tim Bradley on the road doing the honey-do list.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't officers out there, anybody that's listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm texting and driving. Yes, I am. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but we all do it, and I'm doing it safely. I'm in the slow lane, so don't beat me up too bad in the comment section.
Well, I know Tim, you're coming out to New York this week, and you guys are calling a fight from New York, and you also are receiving an award at the Boxing Writers Dinner. So that's Awesome, man. I know you're looking forward to that.
Yes, I am. I really am, man. To be honest with you, I never really saw this day coming, man. It's honest to God truth, man. I've never really saw this day coming. There's a ton of great analysts out there, boxing analysts. I work with a few. Sean Porter's fantastic. Uh, Paulie, I mean, dude, I mean, all these guys, even Chris Algieri, man, fantastic. So I never really expected that, man. Those guys are brilliant minds of boxing, bro. And so, I feel honored. I feel honored, man, because I've been working my butt off, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've been working my butt off over at ESPN, man, and feel like I've been doing double shifts since Dre's been gone. Not only am I, doing the entire show, I'm also writing as well. And so I just think that, the boxing pundits, they see my work, they see how I've improved, and they see how hard I'm working out there. So last year was a good year for me, I feel, and I'm getting rewarded for it. So definitely honored, and can't wait for that. Can't wait to receive my trophy, man.
Well, it's well deserved, man. And for people that don't know, I know how hard you work and how you prepare yourself and how seriously you take it. And if people don't know, you write some fantastic articles on ESPN as well. So there's a
Yeah,
lot of your stuff that people can see you call fights, and they can read what you do. So
yeah.
it's deserved, man. This is something
Appreciate
you
that.
work for. This, it wasn't handed to you, just like you worked to be in the Hall of Fame. It wasn't handed to you.
No, you're absolutely right, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. And again, this is one of those rewards that I was like surprised, man. When I got the call, dude, like I think I was more excited about this than when I got in the Hall of Fame. To be honest with you, because I mean, it's a new adventure for me, man. This is a new career, and it wasn't always easy for me, man, just to get up and talk on TV. I mean, I don't know if you follow me when I first got on, man, until what I have become today, man. It's like night and day.
Of
Night and
course,
day, man. I was spooked, at first being on television, feeling that I had to be perfect all the time, and dealing with the criticism on top of that. Man, I still would deal with the criticism now. However, I've definitely grown in this position, and I thank ESPN for allowing me to grow, and support me over the years. I've been doing it now, what, 7 years now, man. So
it's been a long time.
yeah,
It,
I'm got about 3 more years till I get my 10,000 hours, man. 3 more years.
well,
They
you know
usually
what,
take. Go
Tim,
ahead.
you what I appreciate, I think what most people appreciate, and I think why you're getting the award, it's a couple of reasons. One, the ability to break down a fight and tell the audience what's happening so they can understand it,
Mhm.
and also you have something that not everyone has. You're blunt and you're direct and you're honest,
Yeah.
and sometimes it it's tough. You don't want to say things that come off as critical, but in your role you have to do that. If you see a fighter doing something wrong, you point it out. And I know you and I have talked a lot about this. You've been called a hater and this and that. But I talked to Brian Norman, who is a champ now, and even Brian Norman said he agreed with the things that you said about him. So I appreciate the fact that you're honest, and it's easy to be like kind of fluff and not go deep because you don't want criticism, but you're being honest, and that's why you're being honored.
Yeah, I've never been a fence rider, man. It's I'm known to tell the truth, man. I've always been that way. But what people don't realize is that I wasn't always like this. I didn't become like this until after I went through what I went through back in 2011 when I fought against Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
That's when everything changed for me. I got a different outlook on life, a different outlook on people's opinions. And then I realized, like, man, like everybody has an opinion about me, and I have to, I guess, listen to it and accept it. However, I feel like I was like, man, I got an opinion also. And now that I'm in this position, I'm like, yo, I got an opinion. Not only do I have an opinion, but I actually did this. Whereas most people that sit behind the keyboard and type and say, negative things all the time. They never fought before. So it's like, man,
Right.
at least my opinion has weight. Now, I'm not saying that I'm always right, because there are some boxing people out there that follow the sport wholeheartedly, man, and they don't miss a beat, bro. And they're very very knowledgeable because they've heard a lot over the years, and so they say a lot of the stuff that was, they repeat a lot of the stuff that's been said over the years, and they've seen certain trends, throughout the years. So I respect those people too. But some people, that a lot of the people that talk without having receipts or having facts, to back it up, that's different. Now I really don't respect that. So at least when I'm saying something, I try to back it up with facts, man. At the end of the day, but yeah, my honesty, and just talking about Norman for a minute. Norman, I did an interview. I forget who it was with, man. To be honest with you, and man, sucks for them, because I wish I had known exactly the interview I did it. But I talked about Norman. They asked me about Norman. They said, "Hey, do you think Norman can be a world champion?" I said, "Absolutely, absolutely. The young man is extremely skillful. He has a lot of experience. His father has done well with him, throughout the years. I do have my opinions about that. However, I think he still has the goods to do that. If he fixed certain things in his game, absolutely, he can be a world champion. Now, this is well before you saw all the all the interviews of his father going at me
Right.
sideways. And dads will be dads, but again, again, this is me talking. And I can know I'm the only one that said this. I don't know if any other commentators have said this in the past, but fathers, man, sometimes fathers can be a little bit too much, man. A
Yep.
little bit too much over the top, man. I understand that your seed, I understand that they're your son. However, like, that's a grown man. And these fathers, they defend their sons, and they talk crazy. And I'm talking about from the Bill Haney's, who's done a good job with his son and managing him and getting him to where he's at. But man, sometimes you guys, like, just be quiet, man. Like, you don't have to be in the light. Let your son shine.
Right.
That's the important part. So you have fathers like Papachenko, who just, I don't even know if we ever had done an interview with Papachenko.
Right. He's just in the
So
background.
he's in the back. Absolutely. His son is shining. It's his son. But I respect fathers like that kind of sit back in the cut. They do their thing, and they don't really they don't want to be bigger than the fighter. But I can't stand when trainers, one, and when father trainers try to become bigger than the actual fighter.
Yep.
That's a problem with me. Yeah, because the fighter, to me, is the most important thing in boxing. Because without the fighters, the promoters can't do anything. At
Exactly.
the end of the day, can't do anything without the fighter.
Exactly. Hey, and listen, when you have to jump off, because I know you're on a mission doing some stuff. I know how that
Yeah.
is because I
No,
have
no.
those lists
What's up,
too.
man? What else you got, man? What else?
You know what? I wanted to ask you one last thing. It
Okay.
was 8 years ago yesterday that Muhammad Ali passed away. Passed away at the age of 74. And I always love to talk about the history of the sport, and there's no bigger history than Ali. Did you ever? I never asked you this, but did you ever meet Muhammad Ali?
Never met him, man.
Never met him.
Never met him. But man, Ali to me is the greatest. Inside the ring, outside the ring, everything he brought to the sport, man. That guy. Humanitarian. He fought for human rights, as far as for black folks, or black people, I should say. Even mainstream television, bro. Getting brothers, getting fighters, black fighters on mainstream television, man. He's a remarkable person, man. Great heart. I remember it was a time, like, just going back in history, where Sonny Liston was the heavyweight champion. He reigned for some time, and nobody really cared, because Sonny Liston was kind of like, had that, he was kind of dark in a
Yep.
sense, thug, really gangster type, mob type of
Yep.
guy. No one really, they respected him because, well, many was afraid of him. However, when Ali came on board, man, he completely changed the game after he beat Sonny Liston, man. And the rest is history. But yeah, Ali is definitely, I would say, the greatest of all times, no doubt. You know, I don't care where you put him at. He's one of the he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Just put it that way, because of what he did inside the ring, and he fought everybody. I mean, he fought generations,
Yep.
like the generational champions, and he fought them probably at an older as they were on their way out or exit. But I mean, he fought everybody, man. You know, and he never ducked. He never ducked anybody, and for that, he's one of the greatest of all times.
You know, he was I almost met him. It's kind of not a great story because I could have and I didn't, but he came to HBO one day. This had to be like early 2000s.
Hmm.
Somebody told me that they knew I was an Ali fan and they said he's in the building. He
That's
was
amazing.
upstairs in the HBO. It was like the 14th or 15th floor where they had these like lunch suites. And they said, "Yeah, he's up there if you want to go see him."
Wow.
So I went up there and I could see through the door. Like the door had one of those windows, the stained glass, I guess, where you can kind of see in, but not really. So I looked in and he was in there by himself. And I knew it was him because he was shaking. You know, he had Parkinson's.
Oh wow.
He was by
What year was
himself.
that? In
This
the eight
this
like
was
84?
it had to be early because I was at HBO from 99 to 2014. So it
Oh.
had to be sometime in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he was heavy in the Parkinson's then. Yeah, but in the 90s. When did he get diagnosed? Was it 1981 or 84? I think it might
Yeah,
have been
he
84
was it was sometime in the 80s that he got diagnosed
with
and then it
Parkinson's.
got worse. But Tim, he was in the room and I can tell he was by himself. I just wanted to leave him alone, man. Like
Really?
he was eating and yeah, I stood outside the door and people were like, "You should have went in." But man, he you know how many people he's met and I mean, he always had people around him, so I just kind of gave him like I said, "You know what? He's I'm not going to just barge in there." So I was close to him.
You should have, man.
I know.
He would embrace you with open arms, man. The dude had a huge heart too, man.
Yeah.
Huge heart. Love people. Really, very respectful, man. You hear the stories about you. I hear the stories about him all the time, man, from different people, different boxing pundits around, man. And have you ever heard the story about him being on the plane coming back from L.A.?
Oh
You ever heard
yeah.
the story? You heard the story about the lady that was afraid to fly, and he went in there. He went there and just calmed her down and sat next to her and stuff. He helped the stewardess out, and they became friends. Shortly after. And then you hear about the story about the young man, the artist that used to draw like murals and pictures of him, and he got sick, and Ali went in there and he turned everything around. I mean, he gave him life at the end of the day. I mean, this guy, I hear stories about this guy all the time, man. I wish I would have met him, and I wish I would have met him in his heyday, like back in his
Yeah.
prime. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can only imagine. Like they said Michael Jordan glue, like he had a glow to him. Shoot, I'm for sure Ali had a glow to him.
You
His
could see
aura was
that
off
on
the nose.
TV. You
You
could
know
see
what I'm
on
saying?
TV Ali had a glow to him. So imagine in person.
Hey, was it the 1996 Olympics, or which one
Yes.
was it? 96 Olympics when he lit the torch?
Wait, was it 92? It was the one in
Which one
Atlanta.
was it, bro? Yes.
It
Which
was
one was that?
92, I think. It was 92.
Oh my God! When he lit that torch, dude, that was unbelievable, bro. That's
Tim,
like
I
never,
was shaking. I was like shaking
man.
because it was a surprise. Remember, no one knew until you saw him.
Everybody. I mean, everybody. I probably had to be the most watched Olympics, ceremony of all times, man, because that was unbelievable, man. Absolutely. Ali, man. Ali touched a lot of fighters, not only fighters, but just people around the world, man. Just his bravery, man. His bravery, how he was charismatic. He loved people. I mean, dude. He's done it all. I mean, he did it all. So I respect him wholeheartedly, his entire family. His grandson. I talk to his grandson all the time. Uh,
Yeah.
Nico Ali Wash,
Yep.
man. He's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. So I talk to him all the time, and I give him little tits and tats and things like that. I believe in the young man too, man. I think he can do something.
Oh, it was the 96 Olympics. H Money Mob
96.
just
I told
96 was in Atlanta. 92 was
told,
Barcelona, I think,
told you
but
96.
96, yeah. Um You know what, Tim? I appreciate you doing this, and I like talking about the Ali because everyone today, you go on YouTube and people are talking about the negative. It's Haney and Garcia, and people still talking about the drug tests. And I get that there's a place for all that, and it should be talked about, but I don't have to talk about it. I can talk about the fights coming up this week and celebrate Ali. And I listen, you go do what you got to do because I know you're stopped. I know you got things to do. But I appreciate you, man. And
Hey,
listen, if you have some time, I know you got a hectic schedule in New York, but I'm not far from New York, so shout me out if you have any time. But I know you're up here working and you're getting awards. You're doing everything.
well, I appreciate you, George, for real, man. Bottom of my heart, man. And thanks for allowing me to, be on your show today. Talking a little bit of Ali and this weekend's fight. Maybe I'll see you up there, man. If I buy some time, if I get some time, man, we should go to lunch. Let's meet up.
Just
All
let
right.
me know. Let me know, brother.
All right. All right.
All right,
All right,
Tim.
fans out there. Talk to you later.
All right, man.
Peace.
Subscribe to my YouTube page and you can win a once-in-a-lifetime, no expenses paid trip to check out the boxing memorabilia in my garage and in my home office. You can come hit the heavy bag and go through the hundreds of boxing magazines I have, and even take a picture with a life-size Oscar De La Hoya cardboard cutout that I took when I was at HBO. Subscribe now for your chance to win all of this.